You're not a fish. From what do you know the joy of fish? After reading my last article, a friend asked me in turn, how did you know that human beings don't think in the same way as machines, relying on context and text analysis and statistics? It's a bit like Zhuangzi and Hui Shi on Haoliang. I couldn't refute it for a while, so I had to do some introspection. If you have never read love poems, but have been in love, you probably know what it feels like to be out of love. But if your learning method is abstract and you only infer from the context of the text, then you may be a perfect lover, but you don't know what love is in the world, and you are willing to live and die together. You can persuade your lovelorn friends to be sensible, but you have never really tasted the feeling of lovelorn. You just listen to what is said. Maybe you have read travel magazines all over the world but have never been out. When someone asks you what it was like to go to London or Paris, your answer is actually someone else's feeling. The above should be the limitations of the large language model thinking mode. Much of the knowledge humans learn comes from books, which is actually not much different from the text statistics method of machine learning. But facing the feelings of the real world, such as joy, anger, sorrow, happiness, sweetness, bitterness, birth, old age, illness, and death, this is enviable and completely unobtainable for large language models. I only envy Mandarin ducks, but not immortals, right? In addition to not being able to live in the real world, its learning sequence is also different from humans. Our ancestors did not have texts at first, but they created language and characters, gave them original meanings, and finally formed a large number of texts. But for large language models, the learning method is just the opposite. It must first obtain a large enough amount of text to find the corresponding relationship. This is certainly a way of learning, but it tends to be abstract and acquired. The most basic basis of human learning is directly generated by the sensory world. So if you think about it carefully, the learning methods of humans and machines are still different after all. But if one day they are really abstracted to the point where they are exactly the same, then how much difference humans are different from AI?